Hey, what's up? The Brew Dude is back, here with another beer. Kona Brewing Castaway IPA, Castaway India Pale Ale, Kona Brewing Company, 6% alcohol. Now, there's several breweries down over here in the lower 48 or on the other side of the, just past the Pacific Ocean, based on the Kona, Hawaii brewery. There's Portland, Oregon. There's Washington, and there's New Hampshire, there's Tennessee. I've had Kona Brewing beers before, and one thing I did notice about the Kona breweries, or the Kona beers, are they're, I don't know if the word gentle is, but for example, like, everything's kind of toned down a little bit. They're not exaggerated in flavors, and IPAs haven't been so bitter, and in some cases, have been some type of a more of a gentle feel, gentle flavors, easy going for a person that maybe does not want to get a punch to the face. All right, so let's get this guy opened. Smells good, fruit based, definitely kind of mango. That's for sure. I'm getting a lot of mango. A lot of mango, a lot of fruit, a little bit of passion fruit, a little guava. I had a little guava in there. If you notice, it looks wonderful. A little hazy, slightly hazy, probably from the dry hopping. If you don't know what dry hopping is, don't confuse it with the other dry. You know what I'm talking about. Dry hopping is when your beers is racked and fermenting, and technically it's fermented out. Let's say it's fermented out, right? And then you're racking it based on, you want more clarity, letting it sit, letting it age a bit. You put in a lot of hops in there. So what you're not getting is, you're not, those alpha oils and stuff from the hops, you're not converting them into bitterness. What you're really doing is just taking the flavor out of the hops, taking the aromas out of the hops, and basically, I guess like a tea steeping, but that's what you're doing, and that can let off a lot of sediment, because internally the flower of the hop it depends if you're using whole flowers. Whole flowers have pollen, and that pollen falls into liquid, and to get that pollen out is very hard, but it's possible. But that's what has a little haziness, more than likely, if they do the dry hop method. If not, then I'm completely wrong. Then I know no idea what I'm talking about. Let's get back to this flavor of this beer. The aroma's great, sweet, mango, that's peach. Color is great. Traditional color, goldish, a little bit of orange in there. Head is off-white, not white, kind of bone color, and it's holding itself really good. A little lacing off to the side. Main thing, what we're here for, is what it tastes like. Let's find out. Okay. Let's get one more. There's some bitterness for sure. This I haven't had the Castaway IPA in a long time, and having it now, it's like, okay, when you want to take a break from a beer and then drink other beers and then kind of come back, you're able to discover new flavors that you probably missed the first time around. And definitely, there's bitterness to this beer. Bitterness is about medium, right? It gives you a nice bitterness at the end, but it's amazing how much tropical fruit like mango flavors there is in there. It ends dry. So the way it starts off, it's very effervescent at the beginning. But that leaves, it's almost instant. It's like it reacts to the palate, and then it's gone. Mid-range, you're getting the tropical flavors. You're getting a little bit of that slickness of what you expect to have for a higher ABV beer. And then that kind of goes away, and it ends finishes dry, and and you still have a little bit of flavor of the hop. So right now what I'm tasting is kind of like if mango had a grapefruit rind and you bit it, that's what you're tasting right now. My palate's not slick at all, it's dry, if anything. Lacing is not great, but it is a glass that I got from my cupboard, so it can be the glass. I don't like pouring my beers into chilled glasses unless I'm doing some kind of lager or something that requires that. But this here, you want it to be room temperature to get actually all the flavors out of it. I'm very pleased with this beer. Gotta say, it's not my favorite IPA. Mid-range is the best part of this beer. Mid-range is when everything is just blended. The effervescence, the carbonation is just right. The fruitiness, slight bitterness. The beginning and the end is more bitter than anything. The beginning is just more watery than anything. Mid-range for this beer is great. So that's really it. It's very accessible, this beer. I bought it at a Rite Aid, and I usually buy a 12-pack, and it has 4 varieties, 3 of each. You hear the train? I live by a train. 4 varieties, 3 each, and it's about $11.99 for that 12-pack. Sometimes $9.99 if they're on sale. So it's very accessible, very pretty good price compared to a lot of other 6-packs that I've seen for $12. It's good beer. Not my favorite IPA, but it's drinkable for sure. If you get that pack, you get these 3, you enjoy it. Thank you for watching, subscribing, and liking. And with that said, the Brew Dude is out.